fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
The amber glow of the Cozy Whisker Tavern spilled through the windows like liquid gold, painting the cobblestones in warm hues as I slipped through the door. My heart hammered against my ribs, each beat a frantic drum echoing the urgency that had driven me here. The tavern's familiar scents, wood smoke, ale, and the sweet musk of roasted chestnuts, wrapped around me like an old friend's embrace, but tonight they carried an undercurrent of danger. I moved through the crowded room with practiced ease, my cloak brushing against rough wooden tables and the occasional outstretched leg. The din of conversation washed over me, laughter, clinking mugs, the occasional burst of song, but I heard none of it. My focus was singular. The orange cat curled in the corner, his ember fur glowing in the firelight like living flame. Pudding, the name came to me unbidden, a whisper from some forgotten corner of my mind. His amber eyes met mine, and in that moment I knew this was no ordinary cat. The sigil etched into his collar, a spiral of ancient runes, confirmed what my instincts had already told me. I knelt beside him, my fingers trembling as I reached out. "Easy now," I murmured, my voice barely audible above the tavern's clamor. "I'm not going to hurt you." The cat regarded me with ancient wisdom, his tail flicking once before he allowed me to scoop him into my arms. His warmth seeped through my cloak, a living ember against my skin. I could feel his heartbeat, steady and strong, and something else, a faint vibration that spoke of magic bound and waiting. "You shouldn't have come here alone," a voice said from behind me, deep and resonant as distant thunder. I froze, my blood turning to ice in my veins. Slowly, I turned to face the speaker, my fingers tightening around Pudding's soft fur. Timon Quinsley stood in the doorway, his silhouette framed by the moonlight streaming through the tavern's entrance. The Guildmaster's reputation preceded him, ruthless efficiency, unwavering loyalty to the crown, and a gaze that could strip a person bare in seconds. But it was the intensity in his eyes that caught me, a smoldering heat that made my breath catch in my throat. "I had no choice," I replied, my voice steadier than I felt. "The message said." "I know what the message said," he interrupted, closing the distance between us with measured steps. His presence filled the space, commanding and overwhelming, but you should have waited for backup. I bristled at the implication, my chin lifting in defiance. "I can handle myself." Timon's lips curved in a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Can you?" He reached out, his fingers brushing against my arm in a fleeting touch that sent sparks racing up my spine. "The curse is bound to the cat, and only a kiss of true longing can break it." His words hung in the air between us, heavy with meaning and unspoken promises. I swallowed hard, my mouth suddenly dry. The legends were true then. A lover's kiss could untangle ancient magics, but it could also bind two souls forever. "I don't understand," I whispered, though I understood all too well. The warmth of Pudding's body against mine, the heat of Timon's gaze, the way my heart raced at his proximity, it all made perfect, terrifying sense. Timon's thumb traced the curve of my cheek, his touch electric against my skin. "You will," he promised, his voice low and husky, "but first, we need to get out of here." He moved past me, his shoulder brushing mine as he headed for the door. The contact sent another shiver through me, this one laced with something darker, more dangerous. I followed him into the night, Pudding cradled against my chest like a precious secret. The courtyard lay bathed in silver moonlight, the stones cold beneath my boots. Timon stopped at the center, turning to face me with an intensity that stole my breath. His hand found mine, his fingers intertwining with mine in a grip that was both possessive and protective. "If we fail," he murmured, his breath hot against my ear, "the kingdom will fall, and we will both be lost to the shadows." His words were a vow, a challenge, a caress. I leaned into him, the scent of his cologne, spiced sandalwood and night-blooming jasmine, mixing with the earthy aroma of Pudding's fur. My lips found his in the darkness, a tentative, trembling contact that sparked a surge of golden light. The cat let out a startled yowl, and the rune on Timon's arm flared, unraveling the dark threads that bound the creature. When the light faded, Pudding was no longer cursed but a sleek, ordinary feline, his eyes soft and trusting. Timon's hand lingered on my shoulder, his thumb tracing the scar on my neck. "Now we must decide what we are willing to sacrifice for a kingdom that will never know our names," he whispered, his voice rough with emotion. I looked up at him, my heart full to bursting. "Everything," I breathed. "I would sacrifice everything for you." His eyes darkened, the smoldering heat in them igniting into something fierce and consuming. "Then let's begin," he said, and pulled me into his arms.